in this effect, the spectator's freely chosen card is lost in the deck and later discovered by the magician at an exact number determined by the spectator. Not only that, but it's also found to be an exact match to a prediction card that was set aside even before the trick started. This is a double stunner. This is CoachTrick. Welcome to another CoachTrick tutorial. This is one of those gems that's not only easy to learn and totally self-working, it can also be performed with a shuffle deck and requires absolutely no setup. As ever, stick with us to the end as we explore how magic can be a powerful tool for building success beyond the cards. Okay, let's jump into it. Grab a deck and let's go. Okay, so as ever, let's kickstart by taking a look at the effect itself. This is going to be not only an amazing location, but also an incredible prediction all in one. And we're going to start with a shuffle deck, so just hand that to the spectator and they can give it a shuffle. They can shuffle the cards as much as they like. They really are mixed. Now you're just going to take the deck and you're going to take a look through the cards to select a prediction card. Now this can be any card, just a card that you have a good sense about. So I think maybe, yes, this card just here. And we're going to place that aside and come back to it in a bit. You now want the spectator to select a totally random card from the deck. So you're going to ask them to take the deck and just to deal an even number of cards of their choosing onto the table. Now this can be any number they like, but you want quite a few cards, so say between 20 and 40. Let's say they go for 26. They'll deal that many cards to the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Now to divide things even further, you're going to ask them to take this pile here and to deal it into two separate piles to the table. So just like so, alternating cards as they go. With that done, you're now going to ask the spectator to select one of these piles, and it really is a totally free choice. They can select either pile. Let's say they select this pile just here. You're going to ask them to take a look at the top card and just remember that card as their selection. So we can see here it's the King of Clubs. They'll take a note of that and just place that card back. You're now going to ask them to take the other pile just here, and you're going to look away so you can't see anything that's going on. And you're going to ask them just to cut a small number of cards, but a totally random number of cards from this pile and place them on top of the pile containing their card. So they'll just cut a random number of cards. It's totally up to them. Let's say that many just there, and they'll place those on top. Then ask them to take the remaining cards and to place these aside and to keep them hidden so that nobody can see how many cards. At this point, you're going to turn back around. Now this pile here contains a selected card, but it's now been totally lost. There's no way that you can know the value of the card or the position of that card. But to mix things up even further, you're now going to give this pile a shuffle, and you're going to give it a double shuffle. So you're going to draw off the top and the bottom cards like so, and just deal them into a new pile onto the table, thus mixing up the cards as you go. At this point, we can just quickly recap exactly what's happened. From a shuffled deck, the spectator dealt a totally random number of cards and made a random selection. That card was lost in the pack, and this pack has now been totally mixed. There's no way that you can know the location of the selected card, but you're now going to attempt to find it. But to make things just a little bit easier, we're going to eliminate a couple of cards. So we're just going to take the top card just there and the bottom card, and we're going to ask the spectator to confirm that neither of those are their card, and they'll confirm that, so we can just place these cards back. Now remember, the spectator is they're hiding a totally random number of cards that they previously cut off. Nobody knows how many cards are here. So for the first time now, you can ask the spectator to count the number of cards that they previously cut. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, that is a totally random number. But you're now going to take your pack here and you're going to deal down the same number of cards. So in this instance, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which brings us to this card just here. For the first time now, you can ask the spectator to reveal the value of their selected card. Of course, it was the King of Clubs. And now you can reveal that this card right here is indeed the King of Clubs. And not only that, but remember, we also have a prediction card over here, selected before the trick had even begun. And now you can reveal that this card just happens to be an exact match for the selected card, the other Black King. Okay, so let's take a look at the secret to this effect then. And you really do start with a shuffled deck, and that's what adds to the impact. Now, as you look through the cards to find your prediction card, you're secretly just going to note the value of the top card. So we can see here, that's the 5 of clubs. And that is going to end up being the spectator's selection. So your prediction card is going to be the matching card to that. So in this instance, the other black 5, the 5 of spades. So you're just going to look through the deck. There's the other black 5, and you'll remove that as your prediction card, and you can just place that to the side. You'll now ask the spectator to deal an even number of cards, say between 20 and 40, but it's a free choice. Let's say they deal 20 cards. 1, 2, 3, 18, 19, 20. They'll take this pile and now deal this into 2 separate piles, just like so. Now the final card that the spectator deals will be the card that you want them to select. So just take a note of that pile, this one here. You're now going to ask the spectator to select either of these piles. Now if they select this pile here, you're going to say great, take a look at the top card and remember that as their selected card. So obviously we know that's going to be the 5 of clubs, to place that back and then to take the other pile for themselves. Now if they select the other pile, you can say great, you can take that pile as your pile, and then just take a look at the top card of the other pile, remember that, obviously the 5 of clubs, and just place that back. Either way, the selected card will now be on top of the pile on the table, and the spectator will be holding the other pile. As you look away, the spectator can now cut any number of cards they like from the pile they're holding, and place these on top of the selected card, and then they can just place the rest of the cards to the side and keep them hidden. You'll turn back around and you're just going to take this pile now and give it a brief shuffle. And to do that, you're simply just going to draw off the top and the bottom cards together like so, and just place them onto the table into a new pile. Now, as you get to the final card, if you end up with a single card, you're just going to place that on top like so. You now take this pile, you're going to show the top card and the bottom card, confirm they're not the spectator's card, take both of these cards and place them on top. The spectator can now count the number of hidden cards that they have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're simply now going to count down the same number in your pack just here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this card just here will be the spectator's selected card. Of course, in this instance, the 5 of clubs. And of course, your prediction card over here will be an exact match. In this case, the other black 5. As we conclude this tutorial, let's take a moment to reflect on a powerful quote. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So whatever your goals, be clear on where you're heading and keep on believing. Because remember, you have the power to turn your dreams into reality. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, keep the magic alive and take care.